They say the moon is the keeper of secrets, the celestial eye that watches silently over Earth's tides and dreams. But what if I told you that half of that gaze has never truly met our own? For centuries, we've bathed in the moon's silver light, worshipped her phases, and traced our lives in rhythm with her cycles. Yet there's a side of her we never see, a hidden hemisphere that has never risen over Earth's horizon. A realm cloaked in darkness, mystery, and perhaps deliberate silence. Science calls it the far side or the dark side of the moon, but in esoteric circles it has another name, the forbidden mirror, a reflection of truths too vast, too primal, and too paradigm-shattering to face directly. Why has this lunar hemisphere remained hidden from our gaze? What ancient civilizations once whispered about its influence? And why do so many myths, from the Dogon people of Mali to Tibetan sky scrolls, hint at a presence, a watcher, or even a doorway that lies on that unseen surface? In this journey, we're not just talking craters and radio silence. We're unraveling a metaphysical cipher encoded in the moon's very being. We'll explore suppressed histories, occult symbolism, and even ancient spiritual maps that point toward the far side as more than just terrain. It may be a repository of dormant memory, karmic energy, and cosmic origin. By the end of this video, you may never look at the moon the same way again. So light a candle, center your spirit, and prepare to step into the shadow, the realm where science ends and sacred knowing begins. Because tonight, we dare to ask what truth lies on the side of the moon that refuses to face us. Before telescopes touched the skies and lunar modules scarred her surface, the moon was seen not as a rock, but as a being. To the Sumerians, she was Nana, the illuminator of destinies. To the Egyptians, Khonsu, the traveler, the measurer of time. In the Vedas, she is Chandra, tied not only to tides, but to the ebb and flow of consciousness itself. But here's the forgotten truth. Nearly every ancient civilization had dualistic stories about the moon. One side nurturing, maternal, guiding us through dreams and intuition. The other, obscured, feared, or simply unspoken. A cosmic twin hidden in plain sight. Tibetan shamans whispered of a silent side of the moon, where knowledge too potent for the waking mind was sealed. The Dogon tribe of West Africa, whose astronomical knowledge baffles modern science, described a satellite within the satellite, a hidden force riding behind the face we see. The Mayans aligned their temples not just with lunar phases, but with lunar absences, those moments when the moon seemed to retreat inward, drawing energy from a hidden dimension. So why has this ancient awareness faded? Because modern paradigms began to worship light and logic. The rational mind dissected the moon's face, mapped its surface, and scoffed at myth. But in doing so, something precious was lost: the wisdom of shadows. We forgot that truth is not always found in the visible, but often in the concealed. Esoterically, the moon's far side is not just a literal region, it's symbolic. It represents the unconscious, the great feminine mystery, the dreamscape of the soul. In Kabbalistic teachings, it corresponds to the Qliphoth, the shadow tree of forbidden knowledge. In Hermetic texts, the moon is both gatekeeper and veil. Here's the philosophical key. What we don't see still shapes us. Just as we live with a conscious mind and a subconscious river beneath it, the moon's hidden face governs archetypes, intuition, cycles of reincarnation, and possibly extraterrestrial echoes yet to be decoded. But maybe, just maybe, the reason it never shows itself to Earth isn't coincidence. Some say it's cosmic design, a divine protection, or even a prison. And here lies the paradox. To understand the dark side of the moon is to confront the hidden side of ourselves. We'll explore this further in the next section, where ancient myths meet quantum enigmas, and the moon becomes more than a rock. It becomes a mirror. Let's begin with a strange truth. The moon doesn't rotate the way most celestial bodies do. Due to a phenomenon called tidal locking, only one face of the moon ever looks upon the Earth. The far side, the so-called dark side, is in perpetual retreat, turning its secrets only toward the blackness of space. This isn't mere astronomy. This is architecture. deliberate design. Nature doesn't do this randomly. The moon's perfect size, its flawless placement, and this mysterious behavior have baffled physicists and philosophers alike. And so, deeper inquiries began to stir. In many esoteric traditions, the moon is more than a luminary. It is a soul gate, a transitory realm between incarnations. According to the Gnostic pistis Sophia, the moon governs the astral body, the sheath we carry beyond death and before rebirth. This is not just metaphor. To ancient mystics, the moon was an astral checkpoint, a place where souls were weighed, cleansed, or rerouted. But what if only half the gate is known to us? The side we see influences emotions, dreams, and cycles of growth, what many call the mother face. But the dark side? That is said to be the realm of memory, karmic debt, and stored potential. Not darkness as an evil, but darkness as an origin. The womb of soul matter. Imagine the far side of the moon as a psychic archive, a library of forgotten versions of ourselves. Traumas we've buried, desires we fear, lives we've lived and cannot remember. This idea isn't just spiritual, it's deeply psychological. Carl Jung, the pioneer of the shadow self, once described the moon as the symbol of the anima, the feminine unconscious that men carry, and the gateway to intuitive knowing that all humans wrestle with. In this view, the far side of the moon becomes more than terrain. It becomes the terrain of the mind, a cratered canvas of repressed truths and transformative potential. And here's where it gets eerie. In 1959, when the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 first photographed the far side, what it found was unexpected. Unlike the familiar face of the moon, soft plains and clear seas, this side was rugged, violent, scarred with impact, as though it had endured something ancient, something it had absorbed for us. Some researchers suggest that the far side may have a completely different geologic origin, hinting that the moon may be hollow or even engineered. Ancient astronaut theorists point to the uncanny coincidence that the moon fits perfectly over the sun during a solar eclipse, despite being 400 times smaller. Such precision has led some to claim the moon is not a natural satellite at all, but a cosmic artifact. A construct, a vessel, a watcher. Mythologies echo this idea. The Zulu shaman Credo Mutwa spoke of the moon as a hollow ship brought here by ancient sky gods. Babylonian texts reference Sin, the moon god, as an overseer of time and punishment. And in the Mahabharata, it is said that a city of ancestors resides within the moon, accessible only through dreams and sacred rites. So here we are, standing at the edge of the known and the numinous. The far side of the moon may be more than a place. It may be a symbol, a call to turn inward, to see what we've refused to face. In the next part, we'll go further, into the paradoxes, the conspiracies, and the spiritual technologies that might allow us to connect to this shadowed realm. Because if the moon holds memory, then remembering may just be the key to awakening. By now, you've begun to sense it. This isn't just about rocks and shadows. The moon's dark side may be one of the greatest esoteric puzzles ever veiled in plain sight. But what if it's not just symbolic or psychological? What if the far side of the moon has been shielded from us? Intentionally? Let's talk about something that rarely makes it into mainstream discourse. The lunar silence. Radio waves from Earth can't penetrate the far side of the moon. It's completely shielded from our signals, a natural cloaking field. While NASA sees this as a great place for deep space telescopes, esoteric thinkers ask a deeper question. Could the far side be used to hide something? In 1965, a Soviet mission reported strange musical signals emanating from the moon's dark side, something later confirmed by Apollo 10 astronauts. Described as outer space music, the sounds were unexplained, unclassified, and quickly buried in debriefing reports. What could produce such ethereal resonance in a place supposedly barren and lifeless? There are whispers, persistent ones, that the far side is home to ancient ruins, that deep beneath its crust, artificial structures or even dormant technologies lie buried. Remote viewers trained under government projects like Stargate have claimed to see massive halls and machinery far older than human civilization. Some even describe towering obelisks, much like those found on Earth, in places aligned with lunar cycles. This raises an old Hermetic principle: as above, so below. If the moon's dark side mirrors our unconscious, might it also mirror hidden truths about human origin? Consider this. In the Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki are said to have descended not just from the stars, but from a luminous orb that held the breath of gods. In this cryptic verse, the moon appears not as a passive observer, but as a vessel, a womb of life and memory. Some esoteric schools believe the moon acts as a soul trap, a holding pattern where karma and memory are cycled through lifetimes. But others suggest it's a launch pad, a place where soul fragments once exiled can be reintegrated by the awakened. These aren't mutually exclusive truths, they may be part of a larger spiritual architecture. And now, let's pierce a myth that has hypnotized the masses: that the moon is dead. What if this so-called lifelessness is not the absence of life, but the presence of a different kind of life? One not bound by flesh, but by frequency. In ancient Chinese cosmology, the moon was inhabited by the immortals, celestial beings who transcended physical form. In theosophy, it is said that moon beings evolved long before humans, and now reside in a higher density, invisible to the human eye. These teachings suggest that the moon's far side is a dimensional gate, not a place one walks, but a threshold one crosses in consciousness, and that brings us to you. If the moon's dark side stores memory and mirrors the unconscious, then you are already tethered to it. Through dreams, through déjà vu, through that quiet knowing that there's more to this life than what you've been told. So perhaps the far side isn't far at all. Perhaps it lives within, a terrain of the soul calling to be explored. The moment you dare to remember what you've forgotten, you begin to reclaim the parts of yourself lost in the lunar tide. And the moon? She watches. She waits. Not to reveal her secrets to just anyone, but to the ones who dare to ask the right questions in the stillness of night. In the next chapter of this journey, we'll bring this knowledge down to Earth. I'll show you how to work with this hidden energy, how to commune with your own lunar shadow, awaken buried intuition, and stand in alignment with ancient rhythms long suppressed. If the far side of the moon is a mirror to our unconscious, then the journey isn't out there. It's inward. This is the sacred truth long held in the mystery schools, that the cosmos is not separate from us. We are lunar. Our blood flows to her tides. Our thoughts flicker with her phases, and her hidden side pulses within our shadow self, the part of us we fear, suppress, or abandon. But here's the grace of it all. The moon never asks for perfection. She asks only for presence. So how do we connect with the dark side? How do we awaken the ancient memory embedded within our cells? Let me offer you 3 sacred practices. Not rituals of superstition, but portals of remembrance. 1. The Mirror of the Shadow, Lunar Journaling Ritual. Begin this during a waning moon or dark moon phase, when her light is minimal and her energy draws us inward. Find a quiet, dim space. Light a single candle. Sit with a journal and write the question: what part of me am I hiding? Let the pen move without censorship. This is not about logic. It's about allowing the unconscious, your personal lunar dark side, to rise and speak. When you're done, read your words aloud under the night sky. Not for clarity, but for release. The moon hears what the world forgets. Let her hold your truth. 2. Moon breathing, balancing light and dark within. Inhale through the left nostril, associated with lunar feminine energy, then exhale through the right, solar masculine. Do this slowly, 10 times. As you breathe, visualize the visible moon on your left and the far side on your right, balancing seen and unseen, conscious and unconscious. You'll begin to feel a subtle shift, calmer thoughts, heightened awareness, a loosening of emotional knots. This is your spirit harmonizing with the moon's true nature. duality. 3. The gate of dreams. Lunar dreamwork. Before sleep, hold a moonstone or any smooth white crystal in your palm. Whisper to it a question you'd like answered, not with words, but with feeling. Ask, what do I need to remember that I've long forgotten? Place the crystal beneath your pillow. In the morning, write any dreams, images, or even emotions you remember. Over time, patterns emerge, and within them, messages, the kind that rise only from the depths of your inner moon. Working with lunar shadow energy isn't always gentle. Emotions may surface, old wounds may ache. You might feel disoriented, as if walking through fog. That's okay. This is not regression, it's retrieval. Let the discomfort be a teacher. It's proof that you're awakening what was long buried. Be patient, be tender, and trust, always, that the moon never reveals more than you're ready to hold. Once you've spent a full cycle, new moon to new moon, working with these practices, return to your journal. Read your entries. Look at what has emerged. You may find clarity. You may find a name for a feeling you've had for years, or you may find the simplest of truths. You were never lost. You just hadn't turned to face your own dark side. And when you do, oh beloved moonwalker, you don't just see the moon differently, you see yourself. So now you've walked the path, past myth and memory, through science and soul, and perhaps, just perhaps, you feel it too. The moon's dark side is no longer a distant riddle. It is a whisper you recognize, a pull you've always felt but couldn't name. What no one told you, what was buried beneath textbooks, hidden in temples, sealed in sleep, is that the far side of the moon was never truly out of reach. It lives in every forgotten dream, every intuition you dismissed, every tear you never let fall. It is your shadow, your echo, your womb of becoming. And the silence that cloaks it? That silence is sacred. It's not emptiness, it's invitation. To feel deeper, to remember longer, to rise from within. So the next time you look up at the night sky and see only her glowing face, ask yourself, what is she not showing me? What part of me is waiting to be seen, held, and brought home? Because in this dance of darkness and light, you are not merely an observer. You are the moon's reflection, casting your own cycles upon the world. And when you embrace what lies beyond the light, what lies in the quiet, the whole of you begins to rise. Not just the face you show the world, but the soul that has waited behind the veil all along. If this awakened something inside you, something ancient, aching, or luminous, then let it rise. Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more truths long hidden, and above all, keep watching the moon, because she has so much more to tell you.